Action.
This is going to be a really long podcast, I feel like. Hey friends, welcome back to Loud About Loss podcast. My guest is my husband, Sean Hunt.
Hello.
Welcome him to the show, everyone. So today we're going to talk about dads and grief and how they deal with child loss. If you're new to the podcast, we have a child that was born with a congenital heart defect in 2012, and she passed away after 82 days. And we love to say her name every day. We love
Gracie.
to have pictures of her everywhere in our home. We love to talk about her in the present tense. We love to talk about her with our earthly children. And I've gotten the question a lot from people asking, what is, like, I want to hear from your husband. What's his perspective on all of this? What's his experience been on child loss and losing?
You could say I might be a popular guy in the Becky universe.
I'm his biggest fan.
And I'm yours.
Also, if you are more of a visual person like I am, you can watch this podcast on YouTube. We are filming and recording at the same time.
What?
I wish I could show you the process it took to set this all up. We had things that weren't working, but you know what? Sean, what do you do for a living? Tell the people.
I am an audio visual professional, so this was child's play for me.
He's like, I got this. I'm like, are you sure? Maybe we shouldn't do the video. Maybe we should just do the audio. And then the audio wasn't working. He was like, no, I got this. And then I was getting nervous. I'm like, but I promised the people that I was going to podcast every week.
Every week.
If this doesn't work, what am I going to do? He's hugging me. Okay.
Oh, yeah. We have to. Some people can't see us.
If you're not watching it on YouTube.
Okay.
All right. By the way, YouTube, the channel is called Becky Hunt. YouTube.com/Becky Hunt. So we're going to get into the nitty gritty. Dads grieve too. So why does no one ask them how they're doing? That is the title of today's podcast.
This could be the first time ever.
Oh, the first time ever?
All right, maybe not.
Maybe not.
Okay.
I think there are dads. I've seen dads talk about grief and loss on Instagram all the time. So, but you are the first of your own kind.
I am the one and only. Shawnee, baby.
Let's talk about the reality of grief as a dad. So let's be honest. What was the hardest part of losing Gracie that no one really talks about?
Oh, boy. All right. I'm going to try to be serious, but also part of my, when I get nervous, I try to overcompensate with silliness. So there'll be a little bit of both.
It's okay. You can be silly.
Okay.
I'm silly.
The hardest part about losing Gracie was probably watching you, seeing you grieve, because it hit you so hard, and it hit us both so hard, but for you, it was much more outwardly apparent. And as your husband and a guy, I want to fix things, right? Like, I want to fix your grief, but obviously that's not possible. So I couldn't fix it. There were things I could do that helped, such as maybe tidying up or making dinner once in a while,
letting me lay in bed without interruptions.
Yeah. So for me, that was probably the hardest part, is just not being able to fix you. And that's fine. There is no, I wanted you to be happy. I didn't want you to be sad. It kills me to see you sad. So yeah, I think that was it.
And do you feel like dads are expected to grieve differently than moms?
I think as a society, yes, it's kind of an unwritten rule that guys are rough and tough and they don't cry, but you know, it's okay. I'm learning it's okay for guys to cry, but it's still hard to not try and uphold that facade in front of people that you don't know.
Mhm.
You don't want to be judged, and so not everyone understands.
Yeah. The first time I saw you cry, we're going to talk about this,
Oh boy. Here we go.
was at Gracie's funeral.
That was the first time?
That was the first time.
Oh boy.
We were 2 years into our marriage,
Mm-hmm.
almost exactly. I think it was as we were like sitting down after we had done like our, what do you want to call it at a funeral? Do you call it a processional? As the mom and dad walk down the aisle with their child in their hands.
Oh, yeah.
Whatever you want to call it. As we were sitting down with our family, and the song that was playing, what is it called?
Oh, which one was it?
You make
Beautiful things, yeah.
Yeah.
Beautiful things. Oh, that one
And
kills me.
that's like that's your Gracie
That
song.
is
Like,
my
I have
Gracie
my Gracie
song.
songs.
Anytime I hear it, even you just singing it there,
Sorry.
it's making me a
Not
bit
funny.
emotional.
Yeah, so that was the first time, like, you just kind of wailed, and you were just hands in the air.
Yeah.
You cried, and
I'm about to cry
like
right
that,
now.
that made me break down too, because I had never seen you cry in real life. Fun fact, I guess. So, what's something people assumed about your grief that wasn't true?
I think something that people assumed is that it's constant, that you're always going to be sad. But for me, it absolutely wasn't that way. It would come in moments, in bursts. And so there are times where I just wouldn't be thinking about Gracie, and maybe that's, like for instance when I'm working, like I could put, I wouldn't say put her on my mind. Was able to divert my focus on one thing, and as a guy, that's really, I can only dedicate my attention to one thing at a time. So when I'm working, I'm in the zone, and so I'm not even really thinking about other things. So yeah, and then for me, it's not constant, right? So people might think that, but for me, it happened. When that song played, whenever I'd see Gracie Pink or see a toy of hers that reminded me of her, or anytime you brought her up, is when it hit me the hardest.
Did you feel the pressure to be the strong one in the family?
Yes, I did, because I worried that if we were both wrecks, then we would spiral. you know, if we were both just constantly crying, that I don't know. I just felt like I needed to be your rock,
Mm.
and I tried my best. And in moments of private, I had my own grief.
How did your grief show up differently than mine?
Well, as you know, I'm not a terribly emotional person, or at least outwardly. It would hit me, but I would do my best to suppress it, right?
Mm.
Kind of going off of what we talked about earlier, a guy's got to be strong and no crying allowed. So I would just suppress it, and it would kind of bottle up, and eventually, there'd be one moment where I just have to take myself aside and
Mm.
have a little moment for myself.
But not in front of
No,
everyone.
yeah, by myself.
Ever.
No.
What's something you wish people had said or not said to you in the early days of losing her?
I wish I had known it was okay to grieve outwardly and to show my emotions around other people. And I wish I had, because if I did, I feel like people would have, well, they would have seen that. And then their reaction would have been to try and help me. And I think I just needed a little more support from others. I think would have gone a long way, just to know that I'm loved, that Gracie was loved. But because I didn't really, show those emotions, it was between me and God, really.
Like, I talk a lot about things that people say that just frankly peeve me off. And they're insensitive, they don't always mean it, but like if you were to hear something like, oh, you know what, you guys are so young, and this was said to us pretty early on. You guys are so young, that's great, so you can have more babies, you have more kids.
Yeah.
How did that like make you feel?
I know there are people who would say things like that. We're coming from a good place. Like they're trying.
To be optimistic.
Yes, yeah. It doesn't really bother me when people are insensitive. I just kind of, in my mind, be like, okay, well, whatever. That's not helpful.
You're better at that than I am. So we went, what was it, like 3 months after Gracie passed, we went to Face Lodge. Mm-hmm. So basically, this is a retreat for bereaved parents, for families with medically complex issues. Just like this really calm, serene, really beautiful retreat.
Kind of in the middle of nowhere.
Done so well. So we went to this bereaved parents weekend, and it was basically a bunch of couples that had just experienced a bunch of stillbirths. Not a bunch of, they had each individually experienced stillbirths. And then it was us that lost Gracie at 82 days old. And there were a lot of little like crafts and things that, the moms and the dads separated, and we did our each, individual things. I think you guys did like this wood shop thing, like you made a plaque. What do you call it? A plaque?
Yeah, you could. I have it downstairs. I think did you paint the birdhouse? Was that all of us? The bird. Oh, wait, it's gone.
We paint. No, it was right here.
It was right here. Okay.
Down here. I don't.
Becky did a little redecorating.
We have a new wallpaper wall behind me. It's beautiful. I'm excited about it. But Face Lodge. So, was it helpful to grieve with other dads who get it, who've been there?
Absolutely. Yeah, it was really a treat to be with other couples who had experienced a similar loss. Obviously not the same. No one loss is the same, but we had all experienced loss of a child recently. And to be in the presence of others who shared similar stories was so amazing. We could relate. We bonded real quickly. Many of us also shared faith. But it was a mixed bag of emotions, right? Like it was fun to do the arts and crafts and kind of make something in honor of our children. But then there were also the somber moments where we shared stories.
So, like, let me ask, because I wasn't part of like the dad group.
Yeah.
So, did you guys like talk about? No. So you like talked about other things.
Yeah, we're in the zone. We're like, oh man, check out this cool wood thing that I'm making, and we might have talked about our spouses, but I don't think we really.
That's really interesting because as women, like we talked about each of our kids and how we were dealing with our grief, and I guess it's just not a normal thing for guys to do together.
No.
Interesting.
It's those societal norms, the unwritten rules where guys got to be tough. Can't talk about your emotions.
So when people ask you, how many kids do you have? How do you decide to answer?
It really depends on who I'm talking to. So if it's an acquaintance, I probably will just respond with, "Oh, I have two girls," right? Because, and also like the time I have for this conversation. Like if it's one of those just like, "Oh, hey, how you doing?" or "How many kids do you have?" And we're just like waiting for our lunch to heat up in the break room, right? I don't have 10 minutes to go into my life story and Gracie. So usually in those sorts of events, I won't bring it up. So it kind of depends, but as often as I can, I do like to share, oh, well, I've got one in heaven and two at home. And I think it's important for people to know because it is something that has shaped me, losing Gracie and that loss. And it might help people better understand who I am as a person if they know that. And sometimes I'm just not in the mood to really go into it. Right?
Yeah. Losing a child can either pull a marriage apart, we've seen it with other couples, or it can make it stronger.
Mm-hmm.
So, what was it like for us?
I like to think that there are seasons of life, of highs and lows, and we've had many lows, but also many highs. And it's tough, but every low you conquer, I feel as if we came out stronger, better understanding each other, how to better support one another. And I would say it's strengthened our marriage. It has certainly not been easy by any means. On the contrary, it's been probably one of the most difficult things that's happened to us. Not only in the moment, but the repercussions, the ripples throughout our entire lives, right? Like she's with us forever. And the grief, it never really goes away. It just kind of changes. I'm reminded about what he said in the Bible about how he welcomes adversity because it's an opportunity for God to strengthen him. And when we are weak, he is strong. So,
Do you ever wonder what it's like to go through a loss like we have without God?
oh boy.
And I always, if any of you out there, if you don't have God in your life, if you don't believe in Jesus, come talk to me. And you've had a loss. Come talk to me because I'm really curious, how you have coped, because I don't know how I would do this without my faith, without God to, get angry with, to be honest, to shout my anger, to ask the questions. Like if I didn't have him to talk to, I don't know what I do. Where would I put that anger? Where would it go?
Yeah.
Maybe it would go toward my spouse.
It very well could. And maybe that's why so many,
We're not pointing fingers or anything. We're just in general, just wondering.
yeah, I can just speak from my experience that having those biblical foundations and principles ingrained into my life really helped me know, it was great to know that Gracie's in heaven. She is in a better place. Obviously, we would love for her to be here instead, but knowing that she's having an even greater time there is comforting.
We know where she is.
Yeah, it's very comforting. And like you said, not having that faith to rely on would be challenging, but I'm sure people are able to manage and cope with friends and family. But let me just say, if you're not a Christian, I would encourage you to explore it. I think there are a lot of good things, and God is amazing. He can bring peace when you least expect it, and a peace that you just can't understand.
Yeah.
Can't fathom.
How did Gracie's death impact your faith?
Well, obviously it has strengthened it, because we're still here today and I'm still a Christian. It was tough because, it's hard not to think, why me, right? Why me, Lord? But I'm reminded of, Job in the Bible, where he experienced every kind of
So
loss.
much loss.
He lost his kids, he lost his wife, he lost everything.
Basically his job, all of his livestock and
Yeah.
Yeah,
and the whole time everybody's like, yo, just...
How many daughters did he have? 5?
I don't remember.
7?
A lot.
A lot.
And all of his friends are like, yo, just denounce God, because look at your life. He must hate you. You are cursed. But he...
And then he got leprosy, right?
Yeah, he got sick. But at the end of his story, he gets everything. Well, he doesn't get everything back, but he has more kids. He gets his life back. Even I don't know, twofold, 10x. I don't know, but it's even better. So God saw him, and he
stayed with him.
Those seasons. He had a long season, a low season.
Many of them.
Yeah. So I leaned on stories like that.
I feel like I'm Job, but he took it easier than I ever did.
Yeah, maybe. But having those stories to rely on and know that God is there and he is for us, even when it might not feel like it in that moment. So I heavily relied on my faith throughout my grief journey.
What's something you would like other dads to know about surviving child loss?
All right, dads, you and me, this is for you, all right? It's okay to show your emotions outwardly, and actually your spouse wants you to. When you do that, it gives her permission to do that, and you need to be there for each other however you can. So don't make the same mistake I did by hiding your emotions away. You need to let it out, and it's good, and it's okay.
And it makes the moms feel less crazy.
Yeah, right. You're not like, well, my husband...
Why aren't you crying? Why aren't you devastated?
I just wasn't showing it outwardly. Give yourself permission to let it out. Even if it's just saying, honey, I feel really bad today and I'm really missing our child. I really miss Gracie. And if that's all you say, I'm sure that will spark something amazing in your wife, and it helps her feel validated that she has emotions too about it. And then, maybe you can have a moment and hug it out, cry it out. It's
more than likely she'll need that.
Yeah.
And to finish this off, I want to know if there was one thing that you could tell Gracie, our daughter, one thing that you could tell her right now, what would it be?
Gracie, I love you. I miss you. I wish you were here right now, but I'm sure you're having an even better time in heaven. So I can't wait to see you again.
My husband is a hottie. It's seriously, it's really sexy, watching you and listening to you just talk about Gracie, just focusing on her. It's really hot, Shani. Good job. And
cut. Be right back.
One other lighthearted moment from this morning before we recorded, I asked, well, he told me, hey babe, can we wait until 10:30 to record the podcast? And I'm like, wait, I'm ready now. Why? Because I need my coffee to kick in. What?
I'm one of those. I need my coffee to be me. And it doesn't start going in until, 9:30, 10 o'clock.
I don't know. I don't get that. Anyway.
Otherwise, you would have been seen a tired. Sean.
You did a good job. This is our date podcast last night we went to our favorite Mexican place. And we both ordered margaritas. They were like, wow, they were like the size of my head.
I barely got through half of mine.
Oh my goodness. I think I drank more than you did. But anyway, we go to this Mexican place for a date, and we like to bring this game. It's called the couples game?
Couples game, something like that, yeah.
And it's where you like ask each other questions and then you write down the answer to see if it like matches or whatever.
Yeah.
And one of the question was if you were to name a drink after like you as a couple, like if you were to name a drink.
Yep.
And Sean's answer was so good. It was so spot on. It made me laugh so hard. So he said, let's call the drink Grief Relief.
Grief Relief.
So with that,
Don't become an alcoholic because of your grief. But having one or two now and then is okay, you know, in moderation,
I think
responsibly.
the last drink I had was like in August or something, so
Yeah,
it's
been
okay.
a while.
But today I'm feeling it, so let's not do this again for another like 6 months.
Okay, deal.
Anyway, I'm so glad that I could finally have you on for this little chat in
Yeah.
front of everybody, and go download the Grief Relief Journal if you are in a place where you just need to let it out somewhere and you don't have that outlet elsewhere. It's free. It's downloadable in the notes, in the show notes below. And if you haven't clicked that follow button on Loud About Lost podcast, be sure to do that. Share it with friends. Leave a note.
Smash that like button.
Smash the like button.
Ding the bell.
Ding the bell. All the things. And we'll see you in the next week for another podcast.
All right. Thanks for having me.
Love
you,
you.
babe.